So this extreme fear of groups. You find the courage to go to the group gathering, but you want to leave as quickly as possible because you're so uncomfortable and feel so out of place. Well, today I want to talk about this fear of groups. I want to help you understand why this fear is being triggered off and how to overcome it. Because until you overcome this fear, it's going to be a very lonely life. All right, so let's overcome this very important topic today. Welcome to the channel. My name is Ruben and I used to suffer from social anxiety. I was able to overcome it a few years ago and now I help other men fully recover from social anxiety as well. Now, overcoming my fear of groups or my discomfort in groups was a massive piece of my recovery. It was one of my biggest struggles when it came to social anxiety. I had a voice that would follow me around telling me that I didn't belong. You don't belong here, you're inadequate, you're inferior, and it prevented me from being able to connect in groups and feeling at ease in group situations. And it got to the point I was seeing a therapist at one time. I pleaded with my therapist. This voice telling me that I don't belong is really starting to scare me. It is overwhelming, and I started to take on this feeling of complete despair. I was so terrified that this is what life was gonna be like forever. Am I gonna be 40, 50, 60 with this voice telling me that I don't belong? This complete inability to be present and connect with other human beings. Am I doomed like this forever? And the advice was to just take your time, work on things, talk through it, and it's gonna be okay. But after years and years of trying that, it wasn't working. And I started to question basically my inner machinery. Like, do I have ADHD? I started going on this rabbit hole, researching ADHD. Do I need to go on medication? Do I have this thing called selective mutism? So I'd be looking up speech pathologists and speech therapy, because at some point when I would be in these groups, it was like the words weren't even getting into my ears. It's like my hearing shut off. So it was extremely scary, because it was like, do I even have the ability to relax and be at ease like a normal person? Like everybody else in the room is just laughing, talking, they're present, they're engaged in the conversations. I'm just sitting there looking around and I can't engage with anybody because it's like I just don't have the ability to. And it was even suggested to me that, hey, you might be on the autistic spectrum. Like, you might have this, you might have that. So many people offering up diagnoses. I'm on YouTube researching, Google, trying to figure out, what is it, this thing that I have? And so I wrote an ebook, and it goes further into my story. And I'll link it below the video because it'll be a great read for you to see exactly how I struggled, what I struggled with, all the trial and error of all the different things I tried, all the failing, and then finally learning about what was keeping me in that extreme fear of groups, and what you need to unlock in yourself so that you can feel completely comfortable and at ease in groups, be present, connect, and have a good time, right? That's why we go to these group gatherings. And so again, you can download it for free. It's below the video and you can have a read through that. It'll be really informative for you. Now, the key to overcoming this is, what is the heart, what is the absolute core of social anxiety, right? It is the fear of being judged and evaluated negatively by other people. That is the heart of this. That is the core trigger that sets off this feeling of being inadequate, inferior, self-conscious, and eventually leading to depression and even worse, toxic shame, worse feelings that can set in. But what is the trigger point? The trigger point is possibly being judged and evaluated by other people. And that's what's triggering off this thing, what we call the fight or flight system. It is a survival mechanism. We all have it within us, and it's made for us to survive. So what your body, what your mind is setting off and what your body is reacting to in these scenarios, it is setting off your nervous system, your fight or flight system. Your body is perceiving the threat in the external environment, which is that group, as a threat that can take your life. Your body doesn't know it can't distinguish that the group is not going to end your life, but it's going to respond like it is, which is at the heart of this social anxiety. It sets off that alarm, it sets off that mechanism, and it keeps hijacking your brain, which increases your heart rate, dilates your pupils, shuts down your hearing. Even the hearing thing, I went on a wild goose chase for years trying to figure out all of these disorders or these different conditions or things that I could have. But really what it is at the heart of it, it's the fight or flight system, which robs your ability to be present, to be connected, to feel at ease. Until you master your physiology and become what we call shift aware, know when you've shifted off into this survival mechanism, which is extremely important, because try to picture connecting with somebody when you can't even breathe. Try to picture having a fun or intimate, deep conversation, or even if it's not serious, just laughing and having fun, laughing with the group, when you can barely breathe, your hearing shut off, your pupils are dilated, your heart rate's up. It is gonna be impossible. And when you go into that group, you're gonna feel even more lonely and more alone than you would be if you were to spend the night alone. So again, master your physiology, realize that it's the fight or flight systems, your survival mechanism that's going off. And if this message resonates with you, what you can do is join my private Facebook group. It is a dedicated space just for men, and it's just for men to fully overcome social anxiety. It's not a place for men to just cope and give surface level advice and tips and compete and make fun of each other. It's not that kind of space. It is a safe space. The conversations are deep and the conversations are real. So I'll put a link below the video and you're more than welcome to join the group. Now, if you need a little bit more help with this, what you can do is check out the free training that I made for you. I'll link it below the video. And what it does is that whole fear of being judged and evaluated negatively, that trigger that sets off that survival mechanism, it's gonna show you what exactly is causing that and the step-by-step system to remove that trigger point so that survival mechanism isn't going off anymore. Because at the end of the day, that is a survival mechanism that should not be going off, and you want to be comfortable, connected, and at ease so you can have fun in these group gatherings. All right, so be sure to check it out, and thanks for watching. I will talk to you in the next one. All right, peace.